Hi there, I am Professor Alex Hernandez. Today I'm going to talk about an issue. It comes up all the time if there's an issue of divorce and the threats that come with the divorce and who's going to pay for what and who's going to deal with the debts. So in this video, let me go over that. It's pretty basic and straightforward, but it doesn't change the fact that a lot of this really has to do in all reality with emotional and psychological abuse. And so people continue to believe what their spouses tell them. I hate to say it this way. Typically, it's the husband, who's saying they're going to take them to the cleaners, and that they're going to make them pay for all their credit cards, and they're going to file for bankruptcy. So it's just my experience, but I've done this for 24 years and thousands of cases. I can tell you that's what I see all the time. These threats where they go over this. Now, the threat is always the same. We get divorced, you're going to pay for all my debt. I'm going to go on a shopping spree. I'm going to buy all this stuff. Then I'm going to file for bankruptcy, and then you're going to have to pay for it. Let's put on the brakes there for a second, okay? Um, you're going to pay all the debt. Okay, this is a post-separation issue. And even if you were together, and I'll go over that for a second, but let's say you are separated. Chances are when you are separated, that debt belongs to that individual, just like their income belongs to them. So a lot of times you have people who says, I've been separated for 15 years. I know nothing with my spouses. Are they going to take anything from me? I'm about to buy a house. It's post-separation. They haven't contributed. They haven't done anything. Whatever income you have post-separation is going to be yours, just like any assets you buy, as long as you didn't buy those assets with marital funds. Meaning, you didn't go into the marital bank account and pull out some money and go buy yourself a brand new car. So post separation is separate. That's the best way that I can describe this. Now, the issue is actually let me backtrack. What is separation? Don't try to make that argument where you're still living together in the same household. You should be separated. Different houses, different everything. I always use that example when I teach family law in law school with the I Love Lucy episode where she divided the apartment in half and said that side belongs to Ricky and this side belongs to me. Yeah, that's not going to be a separation. Okay, different household, different everything. Okay, then we have a good conversation there. But now let's focus back on this issue of even if we're living together. Obviously, if there's fraud and also there's a shopping spree and you can't prove that any of this money was used for anything related to the household expenses, chances are that spouse is going to be stuck with that bill, even if both names are on the credit card. But let's say they're separated and we still have this shopping spree. How is that handled? Because I'm going to go file for bankruptcy. First place, you can't go on a shopping spree and go file for bankruptcy. So that first threat is a lie. That's it. It's that simple. You're not going to be able to file for bankruptcy. You know, if not, let me tell you, I'll go do it right now. Let me go buy a Rolex. Let me go buy a bunch of stuff and then turn around and file for bankruptcy tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. It is nothing other than an empty threat. Now, are there times where a spouse gets into debt post separation and the other spouse is responsible for those bills? Yes, there's always exceptions to the rule. But what is that exception? Well, typically it's a spouse abandoned the house or left the house, right? And they haven't paid any bills. And so now the spouse that stayed behind is getting into debt to pay the utility bills, cell phone bills, and all this stuff. And then come divorce time, they're like, oh, that's their debt. It's not my issue. The other person got into debt because that other person did not contribute financially. So that's going to be an exception to the rule post separation. But jumping on a river cruise or taking cruises and buying new cars and joining the latest golf club and all that, that's not going to be debt that the other person could turn around and say, I'm just going to file for bankruptcy and make you 100% responsible for that. Doesn't work that way. It is just that simple. Okay, so I already went over the exceptions. Post separation, like I said, don't worry about it. The answer is have everything documented to make sure that you can prove that this isn't, household related bills. That's not too difficult, right? You should be able to, show this wasn't the electric bill. This person went shopping. Are there exceptions? Like maybe they bought a computer and they needed it. Sure, but again, you need to prove this in court, and we can forget about this empty threat of I'm just going to rack up my credit cards and then turn around and file for bankruptcy, and then you'll be responsible for everything. It just doesn't work that way. The easiest way I can tell it when I sometimes have clients that come to me and tell me that, I say, How many divorces or bankruptcies have you done? One. Let's go two on both of them, divorces and bankruptcy. Let's go on the high end. Screw it. Let's go up to three. Do you really think you're going to come up with something that a lawyer with experience has not seen 25 times this week and the judge has not seen about 200 times this week? You're not going to outsmart the system. So when you're in those threats, I get it. There could be a lot of psychological abuse, emotional abuse, a lot of gaslighting. But sit back, take a deep breath, reach out to a lawyer, post a question below. I'll be more than happy to respond to it. But just understand that if you look at it from another perspective, you would say that doesn't make sense. Just eliminate yourself from the equation, and you'll see a different perspective. All right. So I hope that helps. Now, students, paralegal students that are using my textbook in your courses as well, you're always welcome to go ahead and post a comment in the sections below. I hope you're enjoying my textbook. If so, give me a thumbs up, right? And everyone else, I hope you like this video. Hope you like to subscribe, like it, all that stuff that I typically forget to say. All right. So be safe, everyone. Understand the issues at play here with these empty threats, and don't worry about it. You got this. All right. Take care. Bye bye.